In the dead of night, a restlessness consumed Homer, pulling him back to the heart of Siberia. Instead of retracing the cold steps of his crash site, his quest led him to the remote Chukchi Peninsula, a land steeped in ancient mysticism. Here, hidden from the prying eyes of the modern world, an old Chukchi tribe practiced age-old magic and held the key to an otherworldly experience that had eluded Homer's grasp. Guided by whispers of mysterious characters who lingered in the shadows of the peninsula, Homer found himself standing before the ancient Chukchi tribe. The tribal leader, a weathered figure with eyes that bore the weight of centuries, greeted him. In hushed tones, the elder spoke of an elixir, a concoction brewed from a rare herb that only thrived in this desolate corner of the world for thousands of years. Eager and intrigued, Homer was presented with a cup of the mystical brew. The elixir, known as the melange, held the promise of unlocking doors to a dream world where realities danced on the edge of the bizarre. The tribal leader, wise in the secrets of the Chukchi, warned Homer that once he sipped the potent melange, he would be granted the power to traverse the ethereal realms. As the elixir's bitter taste lingered on his tongue, Homer felt a surge of energy coursing through his veins. The tribal chants echoed in the crisp night air, and with a final incantation, Homer descended into the deepest sleep he had ever known. In the dream world, shadows morphed into formidable figures, and the landscape twisted into surreal landscapes. Homer found himself entwined in an adventure that echoed with the resonance of dark events yet to unfold. Strange characters emerged, whispering prophecies that hinted at a fate beyond his comprehension. As Homer traversed this enigmatic dream world, the lines between reality and illusion blurred. The Chukchi tribe's ancient magic had opened a gateway to experiences unknown, leading him down a path where every step was fraught with anticipation and dread. Little did he know that the journey he had embarked upon was just the prelude to a dark adventure that would challenge the very fabric of his existence. In the twisted tapestry of his dream realm, Homer found himself transported to ancient Egypt. The air hung heavy with the acrid scent of charred ruins as he emerged near a village in Cairo, nestled in the shadows of a looming pyramid. The landscape was a haunting canvas of devastation, with homes reduced to smoldering embers, horses lying motionless, and the air punctuated by the stench of death. As Homer staggered through the remnants of the scorched village, the oppressive heat weighed down on him, a suffocating shroud that intensified with each agonizing step. The ground beneath him radiated a searing heat, like the lingering echoes of a malevolent inferno. His chest tightened with an ominous premonition, a sensation that went beyond the charnel aftermath. The air itself seemed to thicken, constricting around him like a vice. The distant crackling of dying embers intermingled with the moans of spectral winds, creating an unsettling symphony. In the ghostly remnants of the village, Homer's heart pulsed irregularly, each beat reverberating with an impending sense of doom. The air was laced with the metallic tang of blood, an olfactory assault that mingled with the acrid smoke and the scent of burnt flesh. Amidst the ruins, a figure darted between the skeletal remains of homes, a young boy, innocent in appearance but harboring a darkness that transcended the scorched landscape. Homer's chest pain escalated, becoming a crescendo of torment, a malevolent orchestra conducting his suffering. Desperation etched across his face. Homer called out for help, the echoes of his voice drowning in the desolation. The boy, seemingly unaffected by the devastation around him, halted in his tracks. His eyes, void of humanity, gleamed with an unholy malevolence that sent shivers down Homer's spine. The boy approached with an unnatural calmness, wielding a lit torch that cast eerie shadows on the cracked earth. Homer's senses heightened, the air thick with dread as the boy loomed over him. The flickering flames painted a grotesque tableau on the boy's face, revealing eyes as dark as the abyss. In excruciating pain, Homer attempted to move, but his strength betrayed him. The boy, possessed by an unholy strength, effortlessly flipped him onto his back. The dagger glinted malevolently in the dim light, and with a savage determination, the boy thrust it into Homer's chest. The metallic taste of blood flooded Homer's mouth, and the world blurred into a nightmarish swirl of agony. The touch of the cold dagger slicing through his flesh was juxtaposed with the searing heat of the ancient Egyptian ruins. The guttural sound of tearing flesh mingled with the crackling of distant flames, a cacophony that marked the grisly symphony of Homer's nightmarish demise. As darkness claimed him, Homer's senses were inundated with the visceral horror of his unraveling reality. The dream realm had morphed into a chamber of unspeakable torment, leaving him entangled in a grotesque dance with malevolence, each sense attuned to the symphony of suffering that echoed through the desolate ruins of his fractured psyche. The pain, an indescribable crescendo, sent shockwaves through every fiber of his being until, mercifully, everything faded to black. In the eerie limbo between dream and reality, Homer awoke to a nightmare. His senses slowly returned, and a gnawing realization of danger sank deep into his consciousness. Disoriented, he discovered his hands bound behind his back, the coarse bindings biting into his flesh. Lying on his back, he felt the cold, hard surface of a moving truck beneath him. The fabric roof above fluttered in the night breeze, a rip allowing slivers of moonlight to seep through. Homer strained against the bindings, managing to free his face from the black sack that had obscured his vision. Panic surged as he surveyed his surroundings. Dressed in unfamiliar, blood-stained clothes, Homer's eyes widened in horror. Stitches adorned his abdominal area, a crude testament to a sinister surgery. The grim reality gripped him, and a shiver ran down his spine. He wasn't just in a different world, he was ensnared in a web of malevolence. As his gaze darted around the truck, he spotted other figures lying motionless. A sinking feeling settled in his gut when he realized they weren't sleeping. They were dead. A cold dread enveloped him as the pieces of the puzzle clicked into place. The Chukchi tribesman had betrayed him, and he was now a pawn in a twisted game. Amidst the lifeless bodies, a woman lay next to him, her vacant eyes staring into the abyss. Homer's heart pounded as he understood the grim fate that awaited him if he didn't escape. A surge of desperation ignited within him. He carefully observed the truck's interior, the moonlight revealing a cracked opening in the fabric roof. Homer's mind raced with the urgency of survival. In the stillness of the night, he attempted to rouse one of the seemingly sleeping figures, resorting to a cautious kick. The woman beside him remained unresponsive. Panic intensified when he realized the chilling truth. They were all corpses, harvested and discarded. In the stifling darkness of the truck, Homer knew he had to escape the clutches of this macabre trafficking. The road to freedom was fraught with peril, but he couldn't succumb to the fate that awaited him. The hunt for escape began as the truck hurtled through the night, carrying its grim cargo to an unknown destination. In the suffocating darkness of the truck, Homer's desperate bid for freedom became a silent struggle. With the stealth of a shadow, he retrieved a discarded driver's license from one of the lifeless bodies, using its sharp edge to gradually sever the ropes binding his hands. The process was slow, painstaking, but driven by a fervent will to escape. As he worked in silence, the murmur of Russian conversation between the two drivers seeped into his consciousness. The distinct accent hinted at a Kazakhstani origin. Peering out the back of the truck, Homer glimpsed the winding mountain roads, their majestic beauty a stark contrast to the horror within. Time passed, and Homer's heart raced with anticipation. The truck hurtled forward, its speed seemingly unyielding. Yet he bided his time, patiently waiting for the opportune moment. Finally, as the vehicle approached a sharp bend, forcing it to decelerate, Homer seized his chance. In a calculated leap, he jumped from the truck, sacrificing his body to the harsh embrace of the mountainous terrain. The impact was brutal. Scratches, bruises, and a bone protruding from his leg told the story of a battered but determined escapee. As the truck continued its oblivious journey, Homer looked back, relieved to see that his escape had gone unnoticed. The mountains stood witness to his struggle, their grandeur juxtaposed against the brutality of his ordeal. A tear welled in Homer's eye as he realized this might be the last time he beheld such beauty. With battered limbs and a spirit undeterred, Homer began his painful ascent to the roadside. The landscape, once captivating, now mirrored the agony etched into his body. Just as hope flickered, a 4x4 car approached, carrying an air of rescue. Waving it down, Homer anticipated help. However, as the couple approached, their faces remained stoic, devoid of surprise at his desperate condition. A bottle of water was offered, and as he drank, confusion clouded his thoughts. In a surreal twist, the man from behind raised a pistol, and without warning, the deafening crack of gunfire shattered the mountain's silence. Homer's lifeless body crumpled to the ground. The man and woman, devoid of remorse, disposed of his broken form over the mountain's edge. Homer's story, marked by pain, resilience, and the cruel hands of fate, found its bitter conclusion on that unforgiving mountain, his journey into the abyss sealed by betrayal and an unmarked grave. Homer stirred, his senses returning to him as he found himself lying on the ground, facing a surreal tableau of a purple sky and a blue sun. Perplexed, he rose from the unfamiliar ground to discover endless rolling hills adorned with tall red grass. Uncertainty hung in the air as he questioned whether he was in the in-between or some other enigmatic realm. Amidst the crimson landscape, an unsettling presence lingered behind him. Homer turned, hoping for reassurance, only to meet Cassie standing there. Initially relieved to see a familiar face, his relief swiftly turned to dread as Cassie shed her facade. She revealed herself as a malevolent entity, an embodiment of darkness that thrived on the torment of souls. With a sinister calmness, Cassie sentenced Homer to an eternity of suffering in the in-between. A cruel twist awaited him, an incessant time loop where he would relive his last 6 hours of life in a ceaseless cycle. Each repetition would amplify his torment, feeding Cassie's insatiable hunger for despair. In the realm of the living, whispers circulated among the locals of the border region between Russian Siberia and Kazakhstan. Tales spoke of an eerie phenomenon, a spectral figure drenched in blood that appeared on a specific spot of the mountainous road during a full moon. Sometimes standing, sometimes walking, the apparition would vanish into thin air when approached or observed for too long. The superstitions grew, warning against traversing that road on a full moon, especially at night. The mysterious disappearance of Homer's body left the legend unresolved, shrouding the Crimson Hills in an unsettling aura of the unknown. The echoes of his perpetual torment lingered in the fabric of reality, becoming an unsettling enigma for those who dared to delve into the mysteries of that forsaken road. And that concludes this novella. If you made it to the end, you're a real one. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the story. Let me know your thoughts on this novella. Whether you're listening in the morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, thank you for journeying through the darkness with us. I won't live on forever, but my stories will so, till the last breath I'll never stop.